June 21st Portal, Part 3 of Ascension. Part 3 of Ascension is beginning to unfold rapidly on Gaia. June 13, 2016. Greetings everyone. Before I begin this channeling, I would like to add a personal note. As I mentioned in my previous message to you, a lot is happening at the moment. I am sure that most of you have heard of the third wave of Ascension. Or as I have been explained, Part 3 of Ascension. They are also talking about the event which I am sure many of you have heard of before. I would like to just quickly say that although the event is to be a truly magnificent experience, I strongly feel that we should not wait for any grand events in order to change our lives and mold them into what we wish them to be. The veil has thinned enough for us to take responsibility for our lives and take appropriate steps in order to manifest what we want to experience. And although once again there are special moments in time when things become much easier to manifest, which I will further talk about in this message, all change begins with you, and it is up to you to either take advantage of various energies or not. So please remember that all events, juncture points, portals, etc., are there to make things easier for us, but it doesn't mean that we should moan and complain about our lives whilst doing nothing to prepare for these moments in time, expecting that someone else will come in and take care of things for us. This does not work. Our guides and various light beings are working around the clock trying to set the stage for us, but it is us who have to actually act out the scene. There is a famous saying attributed to a Roman philosopher Seneca that goes like this: luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So please keep all of this in mind as you continue on your ascension journey. But going back to the part 3 of ascension process, the other night I was sitting at my computer and working when all of a sudden I was pulled into another experience. I felt myself lifted out of the body and float into a circle of beautiful light beings. In the center I saw a glowing ball of light which looked a lot like a plasma lamp. I also saw a procession of sorts, where many beings of light from all over the universe have joined in. I felt myself becoming a pyramid in a line of other such pyramids, like a triangle, almost like a building block of reality. I felt that I was acting like a transmitter of sorts, a very powerful energy. There was a whole array of pyramids like that. It was as if all of us turned into tiny pyramids which were all joined together with one pyramid pointing up and another pointing down, forming a pattern around this glowing ball of light. From this plasma ball, if you will, a lot of energy emanated which would pass through us and out, permeating throughout the whole planet. When asked, I was explained that many energy gateways have been activated, and a lot of light has been generated from within the planet which has been delivered into the bodies of all who dwell on this planet. Those who are ready to awaken according to junction points pre-selected by their higher selves, will awaken rapidly within the next few weeks. To help you understand this better, I would like to explain to you what a junction point is. I am sure that many of you have already heard of this, but to those who have not, our earthly time moves differently than universal time. On this planet there is what is known as linear time, but this time does not exist outside of Earth. In this matrix, we are living out the experiences in continuous moments, where we believe that we are moving from birth onwards and cannot physically go back in time. Outside of Earth, time is viewed completely differently as everything is happening in the now moment. Beings from other dimensions are easily able to maneuver through time and space. That is how they are able to go back into our past and move forward into the future or come visit us at this moment in time. However, to do that, they must wait until all the different times coincide in one point, one moment, opening up a gateway through which they can jump timelines, dimensions, etc. Think of it like traveling to another country for a special meeting that you have to get to in time. In order to get there, you have to take a specific plane at a specific time. If you miss your flight, then you need to wait for another, and you will miss this meeting and will have to reschedule. The same thing here. At certain moments in time, we have various time junctions, points in time from which we can jump timelines, manifest what we want into our reality, change the reality that we live in, etc., etc. These moments occur for each of us individually and collectively. And that is exactly what the channeling that you are about to hear is talking about. I was told that in the weeks to come, many of you are going to be meeting with your guides, in person on Earth, in meditations, in your dreams. Some of you will even be taken aboard ships and imprinted with various information via light language, which will later be activated when the time is right and translated within your brain, so that you can then take appropriate action. Many of you may experience lapses of time, missing time, sudden depression, odd sensations, forgetfulness, disorientation, or complete inner knowing. You may feel prompted to leave your home and go somewhere else. Call a friend you haven't called in a while, visit a place you've never thought of going before, etc., etc. All of these will be ways of your guides communicating with you and leading you to your own juncture points from where you will be able to select the next stages in your ascension process. For example, when I graduated from college, long before my spiritual awakening, I could not find a job. The economy was pretty bad, and in the field that I studied there were no jobs available at all. I was running out of money and cried out to heavens that I needed help, and all of a sudden got a phone call from someone. It was a call from someone who claimed to be a job agent who invited me for an interview in person, but for some reason not in an office but in a coffee shop. At first I discarded this message as it sounded odd that a professional recruiter would meet me at Starbucks for an interview. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept getting this odd nudge to call him back and schedule a meeting. Reluctantly I agreed and went for the interview. When I walked into Starbucks, I immediately spotted him. He seemed completely out of place. He had this very interesting twinkle in his eyes, and an air of peaceful tranquility, joy, and exuberance. He shook my hand, we sat down. He asked me a few questions completely unrelated to the job at hand, and then 5 minutes into the interview said, "You've got the job, you start tomorrow, they will absolutely love you there." I couldn't believe my ears. This has never happened before. By that time, I was so used to having long interview processes where they would interrogate me and never call me back. Here I had a job on the spot. I was excited, though still somewhat skeptical. It was only the next day when I arrived at a very well-known and respected company that I finally realized that I had a job. And it was all because I listened to my intuition, and went for this interview with what later I came to realize was my guide, momentarily personified, working through a body of a man whom I would never hear from again. This is just an example of the junction in time and the experiences of being led by your guides and angels that some of you can relate to, and others who have not yet experienced anything like that, can intend to experience in the weeks to come. The reason that I have shared my story here with you is to show you that when you feel a nudge to go and do something that sometimes makes no sense at all, whilst being cautious, you should follow your intuition, because at that very moment in time, more often than not, you are being led to a very important meeting that will shift your life for the better. And just like all of us have our own personal points in time from which we can jump onto other timelines, Gaia and human collective consciousness too has these moments in time. That is why it is so important to come together for meditative purposes at specific times, and that is what is about to happen. At specific time, in the weeks to come, we will feel a nudge to relax, go to sleep, or meditate. From what I am told, that point in time will occur on June 21st, and most of us will be called in to join in the massive meditation. As I said, some of you will simply feel tired all of a sudden and will have no choice but to take a nap. Others will feel a sudden desire to be in nature to connect with the earth. Others will be drawn into a meditative state, whilst others will experience phenomenal sightings of various light beings and be lifted out of their bodies and drawn into amazing experiences. And then some will experience lapses of time, all of a sudden find themselves driving or walking somewhere where they do not remember how they got there, etc., etc. To many of you this has become second nature, but to those who are just awakening this can be a rather strange experience. So if you feel that someone is on a verge of awakening or have just awakened, be sure to explain that things like this are absolutely normal, that they are sane, and there's no need to panic or run to the doctor. as things will come back to normal within a day or two post this gigantic initiation. Also, and this is highly important for all of you, absolutely every single one of you has access to the Akasha. You can ask to be connected and receive guidance. Once again, guidance can come in various forms, so be open to various experiences in the weeks to come. I hope that this will assist many of you, as we are being prepared for the grand event that should really shift human consciousness sometime around September 2017, which is again going to be a very special juncture in time. Now, having said this, here is a channeling that I have received from our galactic counterparts. Part 3 of the initiation is underway. The magnificence of that which one is being showcased to all whom shall listen to the calling within. The magnificence of the language of light and the teleportation into a higher frequency is indeed taking place within the subatomic principles of being. The newly found informational gateway of the beholder is connecting to the rapidly evolving cerebral cortex of the beholder, through which information travels faster than the speed of light being delivered into the subconscious, where it shall remain until a moment in time to be fully activated in order to propel one onwards to a juncture in time, where their dream can be manifested into their present earthly reality. What we are trying to say to you, dearly beloveds, is that the momentous time of Part 3 of the Ascension process is underway, and many new tremendous opportunities for growth and expansion await each and every one of you on this planet. The transformation of collective consciousness has begun and shall continue for the duration of 6 to 9 months of your earthly linear time frame. Within said time frame, much shall change within your very own lives, as you are prepared for the junction in time when collective consciousness of humanity can indeed jump to a new octave of being, and so, each is prepared in their own way for the event that is rapidly approaching and shall culminate in a point of no return for all of humanity, in due time. The event of grand magnitude indeed is approaching your earthly shores, and it is time to once again prepare for that which is to come. Each of you shall be taken aboard your very own light ships, in what is called in your known world as your Merkaba, vehicle of ascension, which shall be fully activated and remain activated for the duration of said experience. All of you are part of the ascension process, masters of the universe, who have indeed traversed time and space in order to arrive at Gaia's shores and lead humanity out of the veil of forgetfulness, to lead human souls and all who dwell on Gaia out of the matrix of their own creation and to reintroduce to them that which has been lost eons into the past. The time has come to take action in each of your endeavors. The time has come to collectively adhere to the new principles of being, the new principles of encodings which shall continue to be delivered into your subatomic principles of being. Stay true to that which you are, stay true to the calling within your heart, and remember to exercise your intuitive centers with caution as you maneuver through the last bits of debris in the density of yesteryear, transmuting that which no longer belongs on your earthly planes of existence. Remember that all is one, remember that you are divine beings of light and love, remember that you are supported by all that is, for you are all that is. You are all magnificent beings of creation, mighty powerful beings of light and love, who are ready to take on the active roles of way showers, organizers, teachers, guides, and free thinkers, to assist human souls in remembering that which they are, and to assist human souls in moving in the right direction for the collective consciousness of Gaia. Know that you are being supported by all that is, know that each of you is being monitored daily and are being assisted by those of the higher realms and that of your very own higher selves. Indeed, each of you is being led and is being worked with very closely at this moment in time, for the collective consciousness progress is in need of your prowess, the inner knowing that you have brought with you onto this plane of existence. Know that you shall be granted access to all that you need to know at this very moment in time. Allow these experiences to unfold, allow us to work with you, through your vehicles of time and space, guiding you, assisting you, in order to bring through the necessary decrees to human beings. Understanding the time and space continuum shall ignite your understanding of your mission at hand. Know that you are being supported by all that is, know that it is so, for it is. That is all that we have for you now. We love you. We are with you. Goodbye for now. Channeled by Anna Merkaba. SacredAscensionMerkaba.com